And I've plugged the
You
toilet.
little charmer. You've done that. You've done that.
You were forgiving me.
That would work on me.
Yeah.
I'd be like, oh, you have.
Yeah. And I said, look, I've had a little
I've
bit
not
of
listened to
stomach.
anything since you said nervous tummy because I like
Yeah.
you.
I don't know why you wanna treat me this way.
Ladies and gentlemen, in the red corner, representing the Bromantic Podcast, weighing in at 150 kilos of pure muscle, it's Ryan, the Machamp French.
Oh, shit.
I see what you did
Yeah,
there.
right,
I didn't realise it at first.
yeah.
I was like, what's he doing? That's a terrible punch.
Yeah, that's how I get them. No one sees it coming.
And I'm Gaz, so
Yeah.
nice to meet you.
Do you want me to do you a nice intro as well?
Oh, yeah, please, yeah.
Also, in the red corner, representing the Bromantic Podcast, Gaz Amatraz.
Fantastic. What's my surname?
Hughes. I just wanted to leave you as Gaz Amatraz. I couldn't lie.
Gaz. I'm a try.
I bet you were wondering what I was going to do in the middle.
It was good. Enjoyed it.
Big
Welcome back,
Red
guys.
was the other one I was going to go
God.
with. I know you love
I'd
Big
cut
Red.
that out. I wouldn't have made the pod. Welcome back, guys. We want to apologise greatly to you guys. We've been what I can only describe as absent fathers to you.
AWOL.
AWOL is a word. Yeah. Summertime gets very, very busy, and editing the pod has been a task.
Yeah.
In fact, last week we paid someone to do it. I must say,
That's how it's getting. And I've been unwell.
Ryan has not been well.
So sadly, by the way, not anything fucking life-threatening. Don't worry about me.
It felt it.
It did though, yeah, it did. I did feel like I was in jeopardy. But no, all is well. And we're back with a vengeance.
We're here.
Fighting fit.
If you are watching and you think, fantastic, it's really good for these guys to be back, please do leave a like and subscribe. Also, leave a comment of the highest thing you'd like to bungee jump off of.
How does this come into your head? I don't know how.
That is the comment we'd like. It needs to be a specific location. It can't just be like a tall building.
Oh, that's annoying because I was going to say
building.
something that's not really specific. But
Yeah, like if there's a certain tree you'd like to bungee jump off of.
can
That's the trick.
I be honest? What I'd like to bungee jump
Absolutely.
out of?
Out of?
I would quite like to jump out of a moving plane.
That'd be pretty sick, yeah.
I just think that'd
It's
be
a bungee jump out of?
yeah.
How would that work? Can you do that?
Because then for a while I'll just be being like
that's
flapping
what I mean,
around.
Because you're going so fast that I don't know if that would work.
I don't know. I want to try it though.
Because I think you would...
The problem is I've seen Tom Cruise on the side of planes enough times now, but I think I can breathe while the plane's going along. So as long as I can breathe,
I mean, you could just go with breathing apparatus added.
no.
No.
I'm going-
You're just tying a bungee around your waist, essentially.
Yeah, well, probably around my legs. I'm not. Like most, the bungee jump didn't really change. You know, they normally go around the ankles. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's what I don't want. The feeling of being cut in half. But yeah, so yeah, I think that would be my go-to.
That's fair. I would like to bungee jump off of Niagara Falls.
Wow, I thought breathing on mine would be tough, but I think breathing on yours would be.
No, you do see that thing where your head dips in the water. Get back up.
What about the waterfall itself?
I'm not going to be in the waterfall.
I mean, you said off of Niagara Falls.
I'll just stop it for a minute. Just switch the water off for a minute.
Yeah.
Bungee jump.
I'll see you. You're at one with nature.
Oh, yes. I'll check with the animals. Please, could you build a dam?
I'll bring some beavers with me.
Build me a dam
Yeah.
for the bungee jump.
Well, I actually didn't realise how and why beavers build dams until I looked into it recently, which is pretty cool.
Go ahead.
Yeah, so basically, where they build their homes is slightly under the water.
Okay.
So they need the current to stop or slow down enough so that they can dig their holes to get into where they're going. Then they'll let the water release again because they'll go up and under. So there's an air bubble where they are.
Okay.
Yeah, it's pretty cool, isn't it?
Oh.
Yeah.
Jesus, fair enough.
Yeah, people are like, look at him, idiots. Don't even know what they're building it for. They know what they're building it for. You don't know what they're building it for.
I mean, 90% of people probably thought the beaver dam was their home, so...
Yeah, they do. Some
That's what I
of
would
them.
assume.
Some of them do just go into the dams. I think there's different types of beaver dams.
The other thing you'll notice, ladies and gentlemen, is
Yeah.
we're in another new setup.
Hey! If you like the last setup, tough.
Yeah. Let us know. It's not complete yet.
No, we've got
We
lots to
understand
do.
we haven't got the pictures and stuff up. Unfortunately, it's a bit late in the day to be drilling in walls where we are. But I hope you enjoy. Again, we're not interior designers, so if you see anything and you go, that could be better, just tell us.
And I hope you're all right. God, I love a bit of brick.
If you were an old school bromantic human, you'll remember the shed.
Yeah.
This is a one level up.
This is, yeah.
We jumped way too ahead of ourselves. We went to a
We
room.
went to a fucking studio
back to
type
a
thing.
bunker.
Yeah. We didn't belong there.
No, this is more natural. For
Yeah,
us.
we
This is
feel way more at home. Yeah. This is more us. It's more cozy.
definitely at home.
Yeah.
Much
so,
more at home.
We've got a packed
Pod.
for you today.
I mean, yeah, we've been super busy and we've got about 9 podcasts worth of stuff to get in today.
Yeah. I've had to try and store it all up here.
Yeah. I started making a list on my phone of stuff I wanted to talk to you about. I was like, this is too much.
Yeah. It's way too much.
17 podcasts worth.
I only have one thing that I really want to get in, and that's my hospital experience.
Go. How was your hospital experience? Let's make it naturally flow there.
Yeah.
What have you been up to, Ryan?
That is natural. I have been in a hospital.
Oh my God.
I know, right?
Why is this the first I'm hearing about it?
Yeah, no, I thought I'd save it
Oh my God.
because we're not friends in real life.
Yeah, we don't talk every day,
Yeah.
so.
All right, but just to give you the lowdown on what happened. Now, when I tell you this story, I am not slating the NHS or the people who work there. I understand there's rules, regulations, this, that, and the other. But I didn't have a great time. I didn't. And so when I had the first blinding pain, I called an ambulance. They were there in minutes. Really good. Took me to the hospital. And that day was perfect. I got him some really good painkillers. Wasn't really in pain anymore. Did some CT scans, this, that, and the other.
Just for those first hearing about it, Ryan had a blinding pain in his hip area and had to call the
Yeah, my
hospital.
kidney sort of place. Anyway, they basically said, yeah, you've got kidney stones. They said, come back in 2 weeks. I'm going to do some CT scans to see if it's passed. And then we'll take it from there. And I thought, great. The 2 weeks went by. And then, unbelievably, the morning of the surgery, morning of the CT scan, I woke up at 4 a.m. in blinding pain. I couldn't believe it. And I probably did what I shouldn't have done. And I jumped straight in my car. And I drove to the hospital. And I got there, and I was like, please see me immediately. And they were good, and they saw me straight away, but they couldn't give me any good painkillers. And that was the worst bit. So I got there at about 4:15, 4:30. They couldn't give me any good painkillers till 5 o'clock.
When you said
They were really
that,
good.
didn't
Yeah. And they let me into the sort of where they are. So I wasn't in the waiting room anymore. The reason is because I just kept throwing up from the pain. I just couldn't keep
That's
anything down
insane.
for 12 hours.
Throwing up from the pain
Yeah.
is mad.
And then, like after about just over 12 hours, they finally put me in a bed in a ward. And they kept wanting, can we weigh you, Ryan? Can we do this, Ryan? Can we? I was like, no. I was told when I got to my bed, you could give me strong painkillers. I was like, please, just give me the painkillers and I'll do whatever you want. Anyway, finally a nurse came over and she gave me morphine. She just injected it.
Yeah.
Right. After a minute, I was like, whatever you want, guys. I'm yours. What tests do you want to do? I felt like I didn't even need to be there. Once I gave me that morphine, I was like, I'm wasting your time. I'm going. I'm absolutely fine. This is absolutely pointless me being here.
I've actually got an appointment booked, so...
Yeah. So, see you later. So, bear in mind, I hadn't eaten since I had dinner the day before. We're now at like 8 p.m. Everyone's having dinner, whatever. I'm fine. Then at 11:15, the nurse comes in. Just so you know, until 2 a.m., Ryan, you can have something to eat. I was like, eat what? It's 11:45. What am I going to do? She was like, I don't know. I said, but you can eat. I was
for
like,
2 hours.
yeah, I was like, but tell me, like, what can I eat? You've come and told me I can eat. You know there's no takeaways open now. I can't go out and get anything. What can I eat? She went, well, I can see what's downstairs. I was like, please, I am starving. Like, I feel fine now. I've just not eaten since dinner yesterday. Please get me something to eat. She comes back with brown bread chicken sandwich, no butter, no mayo, brown bread, chicken, brown bread from lunch. Do you imagine how dry that sandwich is? One sandwich.
Where did she get that?
Right, just
Who the
found
fuck
it.
made that as a that's
Yeah.
not a sandwich?
That's fucking hideous, isn't it? She gave me a yogurt, a child's brownie, and there's one other thing she gave me. Right. And I was like, oh, can I have a drink? So, yeah, I'll grab your drink. Didn't even ask what I wanted. Just went. I was like, okay, it's fine. I just thought, I'm going to get a jug of water here.
Yeah.
Obviously, I've not had anything to drink in ages. She comes back. I've got a fucking hot chocolate. Right? Now, half of me is like, great. The other half is me like, I am gasping. Hot chocolate
down
is
hot chocolate?
not going to be the one. And I went, hot chocolate. She went, yeah, it's more filling, I thought. And I thought, that's fair logic. But a lot of water would have been... Anyway, so I've just set it up on the table in front of me and she's walked off. What's the next thing she does? Turns the lights off for the ward. So I'm in pitch black, sitting there like, are you kidding me? You couldn't leave those lights on for 10 minutes for me to eat. I was like, this is mugging me off. There's a little light on behind me now. I've found this little light. I've got it on. It's the deadest light known to man. It's got 2 settings. You'd never know. So I've got this light on. I finished my food. I'm doing my best to not feel sorry for myself.
Yeah.
I'm like, it is what it is. Do you know what I mean? I'm glad I've got some
Such
food.
is life.
Yeah. They could have just not told me I could eat.
Yeah.
And I've just been starving until morning. So I was thinking, great, all right, fine. I've got a little bit of something here. It doesn't taste that bad. The sandwich was fucking awful. But the brownie and the yogurt, great.
Make it work.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. And the hot chocolate was actually all right. Anyway, so I'll get a bit of sleep. The fucking other people in the ward are just making so much noise, but whatever. Anyway, I wake up. Surgery time. I was like, great. Straight away. Perfect. Go and have my surgery. My anaesthetist, he'll never watch this, but if he does, mate, I didn't say it to him at the time, but what an incredible build he had. The man was jacked.
Really?
Yeah, like he's introduced himself, and I don't know why I didn't, but in my head I was going, "You look great." Like, I wanted to just say those words to him, but I don't know. The whole thing was just getting to me, and I was just like just listening to the what's going to happen, what's not going to happen type thing, and all that. And they,
You look great. What a fantastic
do you know what I
specimen
mean?
you are.
I didn't want to sound too weird, but I also wanted to be like, I don't know if anyone's going to tell you this today, but you look marvellous. Just keep doing what you're doing, mate.
I would.
Yeah. And then I had 4 or 5 doctors, nurses, surgeons, whatever, around my bed, and I'm in this like room getting ready to be put under. And the woman goes to me, so what are you having done today? I was like, fucking hope you know. Am I telling you? Or I literally went to her, you asking me? She was like, yeah, we just want to check you know what you're having done. I was like, oh, I'm having a stint put in and some stones removed and you can have a look about. She was like, yeah, that's the gist of it, yeah.
That's the gist of it. Not the most convincing argument, but hey ho.
Yeah, I thought, I'll take that. That's fine. Anyway, puts me under. Great. I wake up from surgery and I'm really groggy. But I must have woke up around midday. Yeah, something like that, midday. And there's a nurse sat in front of me on her laptop. And I was like, excuse me. She said, I was like, has lunch been served yet? She's like, no. I was like, oh, I'd love some lunch. Do you know what's for lunch or anything? She said, I'll go and speak to a nurse and we'll get you some lunch. Anyway, some woman comes around with the bell or whatever it was. Lunchtime. I thought, you've not moved. What am I going to get? They walk up, the woman doing it walks around, looks around at me, and goes, oh, you awake, Ryan? Yeah, you want some lunch? I said, oh, yes, please, I'd love some lunch. Gave everyone their lunch. Fucked off. I was like, what is going on? What is going on? So, bear in mind, I'm like leaking blood. Like, I'm leaking it out of me, right? I've got to get my gown off, and there's blood all over my gown. And I'm thinking, God, this is... I've got to walk out of the ward now over to the thing. And I find my nurse, and she is a star.
Yeah.
She'd been fantastic. As soon as she got into work that morning, 10 out of 10. Yep. And she was like, you've not eaten? I was like, no, I'm really... She's like, get back to bed, Ryan. Let me get you some lunch. So what do you want? I told her, blah, blah. Anyway, bless her. She brought it all in. What do you want to drink? I said, I'd love some apple juice or something like that. She comes in, big thing of apple juice. Great. I'm all right again. Anyway, another 5 hours goes by or something like that. I'm just laying in this bed. Anyway, my nurse comes around. All right, Ryan. I said, am I going to see a doctor? She went, what do you mean you can see a doctor? I was like, well, I've not seen anyone. She went, doctor's already been and seen you, Ryan. I was like, no doctor's been and seen me. That's what I'm waiting on. I want to go home.
Yeah.
She was like, hang on a minute. Anyway, this other doctor comes round. She's like, yeah, it says on your notes that a doctor's seen you. Like, when they've done your surgery, they come and saw you. And I was like, what? When I was coming round from the anaesthetic? She was like, yeah. I was like, that's when they decided to give me my debrief of like what's to expect. And she was like, well, yeah. I was like, could they not see that I was out of it? Are you mental? I didn't say this to her. Like I say, this is what's going on in my head. I was much politer than that.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, can I see one then, please?
What a wild time to do it.
Honestly. Then this one doctor comes round. She says, ran on. I was there for the surgery, blah, blah, blah. I was like, did you not notice that I was non-responsive? Like when you were giving me this debrief? And she went, oh, well, we thought you were like taking it in. Yeah, do you know what I mean? I was like, surely you could have been looking at me and going, Ryan, do you understand? And me just going, and you being like, yeah, he probably gets it. Like, what? Do you know what I mean? Like, why didn't you just go, we should do this later?
Right.
Like, I was trying to be polite, but I was trying to let her know, like, that's not okay.
Yeah.
Like, I was like, so she was like, well, what do you need to know? I was like, aftercare? What? How much? Yeah, do you know what I mean? How much bleeding should I expect? Is it going to hurt when I wee? Like all these questions and stuff.
Yeah, 100%.
She was like, oh yeah. Well, this is going to happen. This is going to happen. I was like, right. I was like, how did the surgery go? For one, she went, yeah, no, everything was fine. I said, did you get rid of the stones?
Why is there blood coming out of my penis?
Exactly. Yeah. The key question: did you get rid of the stones? No. I was like, oh, for God's sake. No. She was like, yeah, we couldn't get them out. So stints in, you should be able to get them out over time. All right. 1 week, and then you'll come back in and we'll get the stint out. Great, perfect news. And 2 days later, I get a letter through the door. It's in 2 weeks. I was like, no, 2 weeks. She said 1. So got nothing leading up to it other than that one letter saying that I had an appointment at this time. I'll receive a text. Got the text through. It said urology team. 8:30 on this date. That's all it says. I can even show the text if required.
I don't think anyone needs proof, mate. We'll believe what you say.
Yeah. Anyway, urology team. There not one sign for a urology team. Not one sign in the whole hospital. So I'm like, well, where do I go? I can't. How am I going to find it? So I asked a couple of doctors. Don't know where it is. There's a few urology teams. I'm not sure which one you need. Bro, I don't know which one I need. Now, bear in mind, it was 8:30 appointment. I turned up 15 minutes early, right? I'm not where I need to be. I'm like, shit, I'm going to run out of time. Yep. What's your name? Right. So this isn't the urology team you actually need. If you just want to go up there and go there, that's your urology team you need. Great. No worries. We're not there. No, so this isn't the department that you're actually required to be in. We are a urology team, but who you'll need to see is for this. So you'll need to go to this one. Fine. Not far of a walk there. But now it's like 8:35. Sorry, what's your name? Couldn't find me anyone on the system. Couldn't find me. Oh, for God's sake. Anyway, basically, one of the other ones had signed me in for me. So now they can't find me. Finally, they found me. Oh, thing is, Ryan, you're not actually meant to be so this is the department that will be looking after you, but you're not actually meant to be here. You need to go to daytime surgeries or something like that it's called. Daytime procedures or whatever. I was like, it's 8:45. I was like, no problem. Where's that? It's on the 5th floor. I was like, 4th floor, I was like, but I was like, for goodness sake. I finally get up there. I'm apologising profusely. It's just like, no worries. This happens quite a lot. I was like, shouldn't you do something about that? I showed her my text and she was like, it's a bit vague, that, isn't it? I was like, yeah. This woman, very chatty lady, who's obviously like the nurse, makes sure everybody's in their gowns and stuff like that. Bro, way too casual at her job. Like, I'm fine with it. No issue from me. But people could be offended by that quite easily.
What do you mean?
So, for example, she goes, if you just want to go behind that curtain there and get dressed, right? I'll behind that curtain. I'll just get into, naked. She just walks in. Like, bruh.
Like, hi there.
Yeah, I was like, fine. Like, I'd like my gown on my front, but I was facing that way. You can see my butt.
Yeah.
I was like, all right. She's like, yeah, let me just put the gown on the back of you. I was like, all right, thanks. I put the gown on the back, so I'm back and front gowned. Anyway, she goes, if you just want to take a seat. So I pick up my stuff and I go back to the waiting room, sit down. She comes in after a minute. She goes, we're not in here, Ryan. Like, we don't let naked people in the waiting room. I was like, fair enough. But
Sorry.
Go on.
Did no one look at you weirdly? Like you were just sitting there, they're like, what's this guy doing?
Not really.
What about the receptionists and stuff?
So she can't really see into the waiting room.
Okay.
You've got to walk past her to get into the waiting room. So
She's definitely like, can someone come and get this guy?
yeah, well, she might have, but she's not said nothing. Yeah. But to spare her, because I kind of wanted to say the words of, you told me to go and sit down. She didn't give any direction of where.
Yeah.
I thought I just meant back to the waiting room. But I didn't want to say that. So I said, oh, sorry, I don't really mind where I'm naked. So then that was probably the worst words that could have come out of my mouth. She was like, oh, we've got a streaker here. Streaker. I was like, that is not what I said.
Oh, God.
That is... I went to spare your, but here we go. Now it's me.
This was not my intention.
God. So now I'm just like laughing off, whatever. Anyway, so then when she calls me to go into surgery, she says, Mr. Streaker.
Oh, God.
I know. I thought, what have I done? What have I
that's
done?
too casual.
It's going to get
I'm
worse.
not a fan.
It's going to get worse. So I go to walk into surgery. She opens the doors for me. And she goes, Streaker, this one likes to be
Oh,
naked.
fuck off.
I was like,
No.
what are you doing to me?
See, no, here's the problem. Is I would just be like, shut up.
Right, well,
Like, that's not funny.
oh, no, well, that's how I felt, right?
But I get that she's trying to make it casual and like she probably thinks, oh, he's quite a bit of pressure. Let's make it
Yeah.
a bit. No, you're not funny. We're not. You're too overly familiar here.
I know, that's
isn't
how I
cool.
felt, yeah.
Do you know
I
what I
was
mean?
like, you would upset people.
We're not friends.
Yeah.
Like, stop.
Fine, I'm going to just whatever.
Yeah.
But in my mind, I'm like, what, fine. Right. Anyway, the first two nurses were great, right? They're like trying to like keep my modesty and stuff like that because, you know, you've got to sit on, they've got to take the back robe off and then you've got to sit on blah,
Oh,
blah,
we
blah.
go, Mr. Dick out. Come
Yeah,
on,
do you know what I
mate.
mean? Yeah, so they weren't like that, right? And then the doctor comes over and before he's even said hello pretty much, he whips my gown up, prods my penis a few times, pulls the gown up. I was like, bruh.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah, you know, when he's like, hello. Nice to meet you.
Just want to confirm, you are the doctor.
Yes.
Like, you haven't introduced yourself in any way, shape, or form. I want to make sure you're the person that's meant to be
Couldn't
touching
believe
me.
it. Yeah, I was like, this is mental. I'm not to the worst part of the story by a mile. They gave me no anaesthetic when they put that tube up there. I could not believe how much it hurt.
What do you mean?
Put no anaesthetic in.
When they went into your...
Yeah. So they put this gel on. They're like, this is going to be cold. It's to clean it and everything. And I thought, we're obviously cleaning it to inject something to, you know. Bruh. That tube went up. And I went, fuck me. I was like, this is just it. It's just raw dogging it. You know, this tube goes up. And I can't stop swearing. I'm like, fucking hell, that hurts. Right. Anyway.
This is making me sore.
Right.
Just want to let you know.
The worst bit of this ordeal, though, is there's obviously a bit that he couldn't get the camera through. So he went, can you cough for me? And I laughed. I was like, yeah. And I went, and as I did, he shoved it right in. Well, when I say that hurt, I like sat up a bit. I was like, fucking hell. One of the nurses comes over, puts her hand on my shoulder and goes, does it hurt? I was like...
Please tell me it's the same one.
No,
Tell me it's Streaker nurse.
it's a different one now. But I was like, does it hurt? Are you... I was
The
like...
thing is, I know full well every man watching now, when you've said he shoved it, has gone,
Yeah,
everyone's gone, oh no, I know that's...
I start laughing.
Yeah.
I'm now laughing. I'm like, there's something wrong. There's no way people do this. There's
Yeah.
no way men just sit through this. I've got a good pain threshold, and this is fucking hurting. Anyway, he obviously gets to the stint, and I'm thinking, right, slowly pull this out. It just goes, bro, the feeling of that whole stint, right? Now, I thought a stint was about the length of my finger that just went in that tube. Bro, it's about the tip of my finger to my elbow. Mate.
Such a massive penis.
Right,
should you?
well... I had to wrap it a few times.
If you think I'm not just editing that massive conversation, in the edit, it's just like, yeah, it's just about this fucking long, mate.
Yeah,
Roughly the length of the tip of my penis.
that's the start. Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
No, yeah, so I could not believe it when he showed me. There's the stint. I was like, the fuck? Why did you need all that? That's not necessary. No wonder it's been bleeding.
No wonder it's been
constantly.
bleeding everywhere.
Jesus Christ. Anyway, I'm still like laughing to myself. I'm like, what have I just been through? What was that? And then
That
he's like,
sounds awful.
she's sitting at the computer. He's like, "Would you want to take a seat with me?" I'm like, yeah. You've just fucking violated me, mate. You've just...
And you still have not introduced yourself.
Yeah. Well, the bit for me, really, was just like, there wasn't any this is going to be uncomfortable.
Yeah.
This is going to hurt. None of it.
I just love the fact that a random man entered your entered your medical room, just got your dick out and started like messing with it, and you were like, "Oh, he must be the doctor."
Mate, the only good thing is when one of the nurses came in, she did introduce everyone.
Yeah.
So, but he personally...
Imagine if she'd walked in and gone, "Jerry, can you just go back to your room? Jerry, we've told you about this, but you're like, what?"
No, mate, I don't know. I just thought the whole thing was a bit bonkers. I went back into the other room with Streaker Lady. She was like, "If you're all right," I was like, "Yeah, great." Got dressed, got all my stuff. And she went, "We'll contact you about coming back for another CT scan."
Please don't.
I was like, "Don't ever call me again."
Our relationship's over.
I was like, I can't ever.
That's mental.
I can't ever want to do that again.
I can feel the pain.
And I'm sorry, that's a long story.
That nurse would have done my fucking head in as well.
Mate, yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm sorry it's a long story and it sounds like I'm just slagging off the NHS. But like I said, there were good bits.
Yeah.
They were very caring. Lots of nurses coming over and checking up on me and stuff like that. And like there were lots of good bits. Everyone was quite upbeat and stuff. Yeah. So I'm not really knocking...
I think the nursing staff don't get enough credit. Because they're essentially, the nursing staff is what makes your stay with the NHS.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Like obviously the doctors and stuff do their thing, and that's what makes you better. But in terms of like making your stay pleasant, and making it a pleasant experience,
I couldn't believe I was there overnight. Couldn't believe it. They kept going to me, "Yeah, we'll do surgery, we'll do surgery, we'll do surgery." It got to 8:30 and they're like, "There's no more surgeries." And I was like,
"Oh, good.
Well, I'm just here then." Like, yeah. I was like, "Why? I've been here since 4:15 this morning. We've done it at some point."
Found.
Yeah. Apparently not. Apparently we were first thing in the morning.
I should have told him you're a streaker earlier, mate.
Yeah, do you know what I mean? Yeah. Oh, fucking, I couldn't believe it. Anyway, the whole thing was quite an ordeal. I'm fine now. Hey.
And that's why we've not been around.
Yeah. So if you're wondering, I've been dick bleeding, all right? So,
everywhere.
Yeah.
Well, apologies that happened to you. It makes me a bit sad.
Nice. Hey, you weren't there. You weren't.
I wish I
Imagine if I'd have opened my eyes and you'd been like, "It's me."
What's happening, buddy?
Yeah, that was quite. I'm glad I'm no longer in that predicament. But when they said, obviously, once you've had kidney stones, there's a chance they'll come back, and I was like, "Bro,
never again."
I was like, everyone I've spoken to was like, "Yeah, put a camera up there, smash them to bits. They all come out. That's the end of it." I was like, "Why didn't that happen for me?"
Because it's you.
Why did that?
Because it's you.
They were like,
"Why
hey,
did it happen?
We're going to put a stint in there. And we're going to leave it 2 weeks. And then we'll see a camera up there with no anaesthetic and watch you suffer." I was like, why?
Oh, yes.
That is fucking awful. So,
Sounds horrible.
how have you been?
Good, mate, good. No cameras in my willy wink.
That's nice.
Have you ever inadvertently emasculated yourself?
I'm probably many times, yeah.
I have had 2 experiences recently where I've emasculated myself and it's made me really upset.
Okay.
I'm not happy about it.
All right, yeah.
You just like something happens. And I've not said anything at the time because I'm just like, it is what it is. But it plays in your brain.
Yeah.
Like, now, how much like a dick then?
That wasn't what it was.
Yeah, like
You should have behaved very differently there.
So one happened first, which is the worst one, I think. And I'll tell you about the second one first. As like a human being, I wouldn't say I'm like a overly masculine man in terms of like I don't try and push myself as being a masculine. I think I'm naturally quite masculine. Like, I don't try and be like, "Oh yeah, bruv, I'm well hard" situation. But I went to a family fete yesterday, and Elijah, there was like a reptile thing where all the kids sat in a circle, and they brought down the reptile, and the kids all held it or stroked it and all that lot. So all the kids are sat, and I'm sitting behind Elijah because he sometimes gets a bit nervous with that sort of thing. So I try and like just be there to encourage him. And he was doing smashing, like held a snake, he held a turtle, like was really on it, blah blah blah. So anyway, they came around with this turtle, went around, gave it to Elijah, and Elijah held it and all that lot. And I'm just sitting behind him. I don't want to be involved. Do you know what I mean? And they're like, the guy was like, "Do you want to hold the turtle?" And I'm like, "Oh no, it's fine." And I'm thinking, I don't want to because the kids are doing it. Do you know what I mean? And then a woman to the left went, "Oh," like I'm scared of holding it. And I was like, and then he laughed, and then everyone else laughed, and I'm like, no, like the kids are just, but I can't.
You just left it.
It's done. Then,
It's done.
I'm like,
the crocodile. That's all I'll hold.
Yeah, so just when it's just infuriating because the moment's now passed. Now I look like a vagina because
mate, the moment passing the realisation the moment's passed is I hate it as well. You know, like sometimes you're in a meeting or something like that, and then like they talk about something and you've got a point, but then it suddenly moves on before you can get your point in,
100%.
and you're like, no, how do I get it back? And I'm now missing everything being said because
you're
I'm
thinking
like,
about how
do I get back into that point?
Or they're like, just tell questions till the end. And then you, like, it's only relevant for that one little thing. Like, but now it's not relevant at all, so I don't want to say it. But yeah, and then the second one, which is, if anything, worse. Now, it's worse only because I'll see the people more often. It was at my son's school that this happened.
Nice.
Now, my missus and me are very different with how, like, we drop-offs and pickups. My missus is she chats to all the mums. She's like, she knows all the parents and so-and-so's parents and the people in the class. I'll pull up with Elijah and me and him will play around in the car until I see those gates open. Right. And we'll get out and I'll walk him in and say goodbye. I don't talk to none of the mums and dads. I don't talk to any of them. I hate going to birthday parties.
It's much more my speed, what you're saying.
I can't deal with all of that. And there's definitely like little cliques. It does my head in. And I'm like, I don't want to talk to any of you. But we went to his graduation the other day from like year R or whatever it is. And on the way out, bearing in mind, Elijah's very, very short, isn't he? You know, Elijah's very short for his age.
Yeah.
So when they did like lined them all up, they lined them up in the order they would go up to graduate in, which put Elijah in like the middle of the pack.
Okay.
Obviously he's in the middle. You can't really see him most of the time because he's very short. Now, we were having a discussion about this as we walked out, or Jade was with some of the other mums, and I'm just tagging along like some lost puppy. And they were saying about like some of their kids, they couldn't see them because they were right in the middle. Like they should put the shorter ones at the front. And they were like, yeah, great. And then Jade said, Gaz got upset when they did the last one. What was the last thing we went to see? Like their school play. For the same, and I was thinking for the same reason. Yeah, I was annoyed because he wasn't at the front. He was like middle, and like, he's a short guy. Yeah. And I was like, yeah, it's really like. And then one of the other mums was like, yeah, I was bawling, and I was like, oh, hold on, what? I don't know what.
Oh God, what have I agreed to?
And I was like, I know Jade meant. Like, I was upset about the fact that he wasn't in the front because I made it very clear to Jade. I was like, this is fucking stupid. Like, I don't like the fact I can't see
the word upset can definitely be misunderstood.
And then when she was like, yeah, I was bawling, I was like, oh, hang on, no.
No.
But then obviously the moment, because they're all just chatting as mums, kind of, yeah, I was bawling. Oh, yeah, me too. Oh, well, I don't really like, it doesn't really, and I'm like.
No, upset as in disappointed.
Yeah, I was pissed off, is what I'm going to say. But now, those two things are like massively emasculating for me and have made me now very uncomfortable. I don't like it.
Well, to be honest with you, the whole upset thing, I think that'd have me in anyway. I would be on the bawling side. Yeah. So that's fine by me, that one. I can take a bit of a cry.
But the problem is, I can't, there's no way I can now bring it up.
Like, you just stood there one time and you're like, just so you know, I don't cry at stuff. Just so you're aware.
I want to make it real. I don't know if you remember there was a conversation we had a little while, because none of them remember that conversation. No. It means nothing to any of them. To me now, I'm like, I need to somehow. But now I don't want to be overly bravado.
Yeah,
like,
also, I don't want to like put stuff in your mind, but like I imagine now I went home and you went, you know that big guy? You know that thing?
Fuck off, don't. No.
Do you know he cried?
No,
fuck and the other dad's like, did he?
No.
Did he?
I'll be pissed. I'll show you fucking crying, you little bitch.
But me, I'd be like, yeah, me too.
But yeah, there's nothing I can do about it now.
No,
it's just
gone.
happened.
It's gone.
And I can't be I don't really cry.
Yeah, there's never really going to be a moment, and don't know how there ever would be. But if there was ever a time where they were just talking about crying, and you're like, I never cry. Not at plays, not at ceremonies.
And the problem is I don't talk to them.
No,
so I'd have to insert myself in that conversation.
You'd have to start being social with them just for that moment.
I'd stand next to them in the playground or just outside the school as they wait, just earwigging for that conversation and then just randomly intervene. Oh, you're talking about crying? I just wanted to make it known.
Yeah, or you like force the conversation upon them. You're like, what did you think of the play they did? Did you think it was a tearjerker? Yeah, I didn't. And that's me out of this conversation. Yeah.
Guys, it's been great talking to you.
Yeah. I just want you to know that upset can mean angry. I feel for you.
I'll go and tell my missus to tell them.
Yeah,
yeah. Tell your friends, please.
Yeah, that'd be better. Jade, can you tell them I don't cry. Just tell them.
Tell them I'm not an emotional wreck at these things.
Yeah.
They've all seen me, but they don't know me enough to know whether I've been crying during it. So
Yeah. Just let them know. I like that.
tell them I'm manly.
Yeah, more than anything. Just don't even worry about the crying thing. Just tell them I'm a real man. Just tell them that. Tell them look up masculine, and there I am.
Yeah. This conversation clearly
Yeah.
shows how fucking masculine I am. I'm panicking about two things that happened that are so irrelevant.
Yeah, I know.
No
That's the
one's
thing,
ever
isn't
gonna.
it?
Yeah.
It's just what goes on in your mind.
Yeah. Oh, 100%.
I'm worse about making jokes where no one laughed, or a belter that no one heard.
I bet, and just from knowing you, I know that will grind you,
Mate.
You're definitely the person that would say it again as well.
Oh yeah. Or I'm of a confidence now, where my joke gets glazed over, I'll be like, hang on. Did you not just hear that joke? That is fucking belter. You're a bad audience.
With people you don't know.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know. I could see you just being like, oh, and then like just being really annoyed.
Or if I'm
waiting for another moment to
right,
emerge.
or if I'm with one person that I know,
Yeah.
I'll look at them and be like, "You heard that, right? That was good, right? Yeah, fucking
Like, right.
yeah." But if I'm with say if I'm like in a parental situation and there's other mums and dads and I make a joke and it just gets glazed over, I will dislike all of those people a lot more because I'll be like, "You're obviously not my humour."
I've made jokes in a professional setting that is only for my certain type of humour, and other people have just gone, like, looked at me weirdly, and I'm like, that's not it. That's not.
This isn't the place, is it?
I was running a job, and I went in to see like the production team and all that lot, and they'd made it like really clear that they didn't want something to happen. I can't remember what it was now. And essentially, I went in, and I was being kind of sarcastic, but like trying to be funny with it because I didn't want to make it like a real serious thing. So I was like, oh yeah, and I've told them none of them can do this, otherwise they'll face your wrath, like joking about kind of thing.
Yeah.
And none of them even smiled. They just looked at me and were like,
Thanks,
right,
guys. Yeah,
and
break.
I was like, oh god. Now they just think I'm.
I didn't say that. Jimmy, I didn't say that.
Now they just think I'm a geek.
Yeah,
that's all they think now.
I just think you're an arse.
Yeah. Otherwise they'll no, because the way I said it as well was like it wasn't just like otherwise they'll face your.
Or
wrath.
you're mocking them.
Yeah. Like I was like, yeah, I've told them all never to do this, otherwise they're going to face your wrath. And they're like, yeah, thanks, mate.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, just fuck off, shall I? Yeah, great.
Yeah. I'm
Brilliant.
actually just going to sit here and face the wall. I hope that's all right.
I'm going to reiterate it to them. Not in that way, though, because clearly that wasn't okay.
No.
No.
I also hate when you think. So the only way I can word this is like an interview situation. I've definitely done this as well, where you've not read the room well enough, and you think you're in a bit of a light-hearted interview situation. They're on serious interview terms, and I'll make a joke, and they'll kind of look at me, they'll like smile and be like, but they'll let me know that wasn't okay, and I'm like, on to the next interview.
It was lovely seeing you. So.
Yeah. I'll just see myself out now. This is clearly not for me. I think it was the fire brigade. I think when I did it for that, and I made a joke
that wasn't okay.
Just like, to be honest with you, it's probably borderline, but I think they're
It was a racist joke.
No, it wasn't. I think it was to do with being a bad fireman.
Right.
Off the top of my like if memory serves, I can't remember the actual joke. But it was like, we could all do with a bit of burning or something like that. Do you know what I mean? Like, it was just something like, and they were like...
And they just returned from a really traumatic experience.
Yeah, I know. So. You know what I mean? What's even worse, I got the job.
Oh, God.
So, I know. That's one of my biggest regrets, not taking that job.
I'd imagine. So
I had a different job in the city that paid loads more. And I was like, I'm going to go do that. And then ended up disliking that job.
I was quite sad. I went for the fire service. But at the time, obviously in our area, they were only recruiting on-call firemen. They weren't recruiting any full time. I was like, I can't really in the job I'm in just be like, oh, I've got to go.
Yeah, suddenly.
I mean, I could, but
but also you can.
But I can't. Yeah, but yeah, just a little pickup on the previous. Elijah graduated his reception class today.
Amazing.
Which, by the way, what a fucking pathetic thing to celebrate.
I don't want to say that.
Honestly, what a fucking stupid.
If I can not take Atlas to school that day, I won't take him.
Yeah, no. It's just. I'm like, what? He's going
I like
up
what
a
you
year.
messaged
He's
me
not
the other day.
accomplished anything.
I've taught him not to celebrate mediocrity. Oh, is that nice? That is cool.
But I'm telling you one thing, though. I've never been fucking prouder. But I've never been prouder
Participation award. Yes, please.
I was like, you know, when you're just like, oh, really? Like, what graduating? What's he fucking graduating? He's going up a year. He's not learning. He's not passed anything. He's not done it. He's just going up a year. Because it's his first year, let's fucking celebrate it. While I'm there, I'm like, go on, boy.
Yeah.
Yes, mate. Come
Yeah.
on. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
You earned that. You earned that.
don't let him take it from you.
Yeah.
Coming out telling people I'm crying. So. That's just, fuck it. But yeah, no. Teach your children not to celebrate mediocrity, but you fucking will.
Yeah,
I'm telling you
yeah,
now.
you will, yeah.
Yeah, it's such a weird feeling because I even said to Jay, like, when I was like, they got graduation. She's like, yes, they've got graduation ceremony. Like, you know, when I'm there, I'm like, go on, son, yeah.
Get that stuff.
Oh, you fucking sing that song, yeah.
Yeah.
Bruno Mars, count on me, yes, boy. Go on.
Is that what they sung?
Yeah, yeah. You can with actions and everything.
Oh, my
Do you know
God.
what's the nicest thing, which I love?
Yeah.
Is he just stares at me when he does
Oh,
it.
does he?
They're all dancing and doing all the things and all the actions. I can just see him through the little gap that I found, like, because obviously he's in the middle, so I have to find a gap between children. I could just see him locking.
This is that whole, you know, we talk about it quite a lot, is how much turning up matters.
Massively.
I think, you know, this is why the internet's brilliant. It's because it gives you an insight of what really goes on in this world. And that, for me, the standout one is the video of that little girl that when she sees her parents, she just starts crying.
And it is a massive, like, you can see. So when you all sit down and all that lot, the children get, like, walked in, they all sit down, and you can see every child just going around, and you can always tell the last child that's kind of seen, because every other child's like smiling and waving and all that lot, and you've got like a mum 2 rows ahead going, she's not seen us, she can't see us, blah blah, and then they end up standing up and being like, I'm here, and then they're like, do you know what I mean? It's like, oh, it's so nice to just see that. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I remember when I used to do the plays at school, my mum would literally specifically tell me, because we did 4, I will be here for these 2 performances, and the other 2 I won't. Don't look for me. But I will be there for the other 2. Okay? And that way, when I did it, I would know.
Yeah.
This is just a play, I'm just taking part.
Well, it kind of, you know, like in movies when you're like, when they're like, oh yeah, I'm going to be there, and then they don't make it. It kind of brings to like the disappointment for the child when they're like, oh yeah, and it's obviously in movies, it's always the fucking dad that misses it, because why wouldn't it be?
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, sorry, I had to work late, I missed it. You can, like now being a parent, I can be like, I couldn't do that. Like,
I tell you what, I had a friend at school, and at the time, like my mum said to me, like, that's really going to suck. I didn't really appreciate how much that would suck. I was at athletics, and me and my mate, we just run this race. My mum was there from the start. She stays the whole time. And then his parents turned up. And he was like, oh, I've already done the first leg, like we're through to the final. She was, oh, when's that then? I said, oh, it's in about an hour. She said, all right, we're probably going to head off and then we'll come back in about half hour to watch the final. He was like, okay, great. My mum's sitting there waiting for them to come back. So she saved them a seat and that. Never came back. So we ran the final, and then they came back about half hour later. I'm like, oh, did we miss it? Oh, sorry.
no,
And when I got back in the car with my mum, she was like, that sucks.
that's horrible.
And at the time, I was just like, well, they were there.
Yeah.
They might miss the final, but like, you know.
But the thing is, that's especially something like that big as well. Like,
But it wasn't his mum and his dad, it was his mum and his stepdad. And I don't know if that's got anything to do with it or whatever.
still like,
Yeah, I did, like, now I'm older, I do really feel for him for stuff like that.
Yeah.
I'd go in his house all the time, his parents just didn't care.
yeah,
Just didn't care about him that much.
horrible.
Yeah, and only now do I sit and think, that sucks.
I think generationally, things are changing parent-wise. I think I watched a or saw a statistic thing that was basically that, like, I think it's 70% of like fathers now are making sure that they spend a lot more time, making sure they're there, they're changing nappies, they're doing their thing, they're
massively.
making sure they make it.
I honestly think this has got social media to thank for this. I think of all the poison of social media, people really have been able to see what's missing.
Yeah, 100%.
Like,
100%.
generational trauma to do with dads has never really changed.
No.
Until this kind of like movie, the technology of like people can actually see what parenting is like.
Yeah. And
And
what,
they're
what the absence of a father does
Yeah.
in a child's life as
Yeah.
well.
It's almost like, how has this not been seen before?
Yeah. It's crazy, but I mean, I think it's amazing that more dads are getting involved, and Hopefully, I mean, it doesn't cause more generational issues going forward, but I can't imagine how it would.
No, I can't either. But for me personally, I just feel like it's hopefully, and I don't think it'll be in 3 or 4 generations, maybe 5 or 6. It'll get to a point where I don't know how to word this. It will go one of 2 ways. It will either be awful. Everyone will be so sensitive and like we'll be like cavemen to that generation. Or everyone will be really sensitive and everyone will get on and it'll be really nice. And
the thing is, I think one of the great things, especially raising boys, I mean, I don't have a girl, so I don't know, but being able to teach Elijah about regulating his emotions as well as how to handle them, and being kind of realistic with him, I think helps develop him. So like not being like, oh, you know, the thing you said before, but you can be wherever you want to be. Do you know what I mean? Adding that bit at the end, as long as you work it every single day.
Yeah. And
when he's dealing with frustration, like quite recently, he's had a lot more times where he's just exploded. And I've always seen those kind of things and just thought, what a spoiled little brat. Do you know what I mean? Blah, blah, blah. But he's had a few times now where he'll explode over things that are like just not necessary. And being able to like calm him down and just being like, and talk it over with him and be like, look, why did you, do you know what I mean? That was it was unnecessary. Like you didn't need to. And I saw a video today actually of a kid who threw a ball, like him and his dad must have been playing baseball or something. And the dad whacked the ball when he bowled it miles. Do you know what I mean? And the kid just screamed. And I'm not saying that's Elijah. That's not the kind. But he just screamed and screamed and screamed. And all the comments like, what a spoiled brat, blah, blah, blah. And some were saying like it might be autism involved. There could be anything. A number of reasons. But I showed Elijah. And I'm like, watch this. And he watched it and blah, blah. I said, what do you think? And he was like, he's screaming for nothing. And I was like, what do you think like screaming's accomplished here? And he was like, nothing. And I was like, so what do you think he should do in that kind of thing? And he was like, take a breath. Because that's what I would say. When you feel frustrated, when you feel... Because I've talked to him about, like... It must be a weird feeling, trying to think of it as a 5-year-old, that you've got this anger building up in your belly, just coming, and you don't know why, but you're fucking frustrated. Like, everything's just... And it explodes.
Yeah.
And we've talked about, like, asking for 5 minutes is absolutely fine. If you feel like you're gonna go, just ask for 5. Like, say, I need 5 minutes. That's no problem at all. If you need a bit of time to yourself because you feel like you're going to get over... Obviously, I'm not saying I've spoken to him about this once and he's been perfect since.
Of course,
do you know what I mean?
you know what I mean? Yeah.
But, like, the things we kind of go over, and in his head, he knows. And he won't always grasp that when he gets frustrated because sometimes it just happens. And
emotion is emotion at the end of the day.
He'll explode. It happens. You know, we're not all perfect humans. But if, 50% of the times he's going to blow up, he can just take a breath and be like... And it's that kind of thing I think that dads are great for, is teaching young males how to regulate those emotions, because you can't regulate emotions as a male the same way you do as a female. Unfortunately, our society doesn't accept that.
No.
It's sad, but it's true.
Yes.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You can't regulate them in the same way women do. And so being able to teach him that side of things and being like, sometimes things aren't fair. And one thing I've taught him quite recently was the fact that he's short, that sometimes you're going to have to work harder for things because you're short. Like taller people can do certain things and shorter people can do other things. But ninja training, his cousin was getting like awards and stuff for being able to do certain things and he wasn't. And I was like, what you've got to understand is he's a lot bigger than you. Like, so jumping up onto a block and climbing up, it's much easier for him than it is for you.
Yeah.
But what you've got to do, unfortunately, is just try a bit harder than he does.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And
It's obviously an age gap there as well. So.
Yeah, of course. But for his age, he is very short.
Yeah.
But not being like, oh, don't worry about anyone else and, you're perfect the way you are. But I'm just being like, look, unfortunately, you are short.
Yeah.
That just means in life you're going to have to do X, Y, Z. I said, and when you get older, you may grow and things will be much easier for you. But right now, you're quite short. So you have to try a little bit harder to do these certain things.
I think that's something that's missed these days, is helping a child understand they've got limitations. But that doesn't mean that it stops them.
No.
It means they have to work harder with them. And that's fine.
And it's not fair. No, but that's how life is.
That is what it is.
You know what I mean? And it may change when he gets older. He might have a massive growth spurt. You never know.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But the
thing is as well, that's going to be a strength for him. Being short is a strength in so many other ways.
Yeah.
Not being funny, I know it's an S-tier example, but look at Lionel Messi. an amazing footballer because his low sense of gravity, his quick footwork and stuff like that. Being short will help you in ways like that as well.
Well, I mean, there's plenty of sport. Rugby, for example, obviously you've got your
Wings
everyone
and
always
stuff,
looks at like the forwards and that, thinking you have to be absolutely massive. You know, being like a hooker or being like a winger or a back or anything like that, short, close to the ground. Do you know what I mean? There's so many things.
Yeah, Robinson, who's an amazing winger for England rugby, is short. I say short, it's probably like 5'9".
So there's always things for it. Do you know what I mean? But what I don't want to do is be like, oh no, you'll be exactly the same as, you know, that kid that's twice the size of you. Do you know what I mean? At your age. I mean,
Unrealistic, really.
Yeah, he's short. Like, manage the expectations, but also let him know that he hasn't got a limit on what he can do.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean?
yeah.
But he just has to try harder for it. He can't.
Yeah, well, I know you're big on as well rewarding effort over achievement,
yeah.
I think, and stuff like that. And I think that is almost what you're trying to instill there.
Yeah.
You know, put more effort in.
Yeah. You try
get the
harder, you'll
award,
get
yeah.
the same. Do you know what I mean? It is what it is. He'll get there.
Yeah, I think with Atlas, because he's still so young with stuff at the minute, I'm not proud of this, but I think we always talk about the good bits, so I've got to talk about the bad bits as well, of parenting. I raised my voice for the first time. It wasn't at Atlas, but I can see how Atlas took it as at Atlas.
Okay.
And God, it's the most I've seen him cry.
Really?
I felt awful.
Yeah.
But so what happened is, I don't know if anyone's aware of the game Elden Ring. Yeah, I've been trying to complete Elden Ring, and there's a boss who's really hard. Blah blah blah. It's not interesting. But he was taking a nap, and I never play it when he's in the room. And I am a rage gamer. Can't help it. It's part of my personality. It is what it is. Anyway,
Toxic.
yeah, massively. There are certain games I don't even play anymore because of
really?
their break, like FIFA. I won't even buy that game anymore.
That's fair.
And I'm sitting there. I'll probably die 5 or 6 times while he's napping. And then so I start a new game. Anyway, then he wakes up. So Becca goes up, let's wake him up. Brings him down. I've got the boss finally down to about 3% health. It's one more hit and he's done. I'm like, I'm going to do it. Atlas walks past and turns the Xbox off. And I went, no. Not at him doing that, but no, because I haven't completed it. And I threw the controller into the cushion next to me. Now, I didn't think of the repercussions of him thinking that was at him.
Yeah.
I just said no because I've got to do that again now.
Yeah.
That had nothing to do with Atlas. If he turns the Xbox off every other time, I just go, well...
That's that.
Yeah, and he's done that maybe 10 times.
Yeah.
Walk past and turn Xbox off while I'm playing it.
New thing.
It doesn't bother me.
It's just where it were in the game.
Yeah, that's what I mean. That's what frustrated me. Well, like I said, I went straight over to him, picked him up. And I was like, I'm really sorry. Like, I'm patting him on the back, doing all the normal things, calm down, would not calm down. Becca took him, would not calm down. I took him again, went out into the garden with him, and finally, he started to relax.
Yeah.
But I was like, wow, this shows you.
Jesus.
Yeah. Because obviously I've never raised he's never seen me shout or anything. And I wasn't like, no. But obviously,
You can't.
yeah, it was just the first time I've gone, no, and just like threw my controller. And obviously he's never seen me do anything like that, throw my controller.
Yeah.
I've done anything in a spat of rage at him.
Yeah, no. Fair.
So,
that must have been
yeah.
an eye opener.
Becca was really good with it, though.
Yeah, the thing is, I think
She was
I
like,
do
don't
think
feel bad.
Yeah, I don't think you should feel bad, number one, because every experience I think that he has now is in preparation for life. And all that, it's not always going to be good experiences.
Yeah.
And there are going to be times when things are scary and are going to be times when, there's some shouting and stuff like that. And I think as long as you know that you're not shouting direct, you're not screaming in his face and being like, you fuck, you did.
Oh, God,
do you know
yeah,
what I mean?
no,
So,
yeah.
it's loud. He got scared by it, which is going to happen. Do you know what I mean? You might do more that you ask now.
Well, me and Becca have actually discussed, and it's coming really clear since I've been home more with being off work. He will listen to me much more than Becca. So, for example, just a mini one today, he's not allowed to pick up remotes, and he knows that. But he enjoys being quite naughty. So he'll often pick up a remote and run, and then you have to be like, Alice, no, right, and he'll bring it back, blah, blah. But today, I'm sitting there, Becca's sitting next to me, and he likes to climb over the sofa and go down the gap. And there was a remote down there.
Yeah.
And he picked it up. And Becca's gone, Atlas, like, can I have the remote, please? Can I have the remote, please? And he did a little, like, yell, almost. And, like, pulled it. And then Becca turned and looked at me. And I was like, oh. So I got up, walked round and went, can I have the remote, please? And he put it in my hand. And I went, ta. And I was like, it does show you the difference in, like... And I've never done anything to be the disciplinarian. Like I said, I've never even raised my voice.
I mean, we have a similar thing. Like, I'm much more of a disciplinarian than what Jade is. Jade's very much like the emotional role for Elijah. But, yeah, I've always been kind of the thing... I won't tell Elijah to do it. So say if Jade said, can I have the remote? I wouldn't then go, give me the remote. I would say, what's your mum asked you to do? And he's like, well, now, obviously I know he's a lot older, so it's different.
I can't communicate that still, yeah.
Yeah, so I'm like, what's your mum asked you to do? And he's like, don't know. What's your mum asked you to do? Give the remote. So? And he's like, okay. Do you know what I mean? Because what I don't want to do is be like, don't worry about your mum saying it. I've said it now.
Yes, yeah.
So I'm like, what has your mum asked? Like, what has your mum said? Go and do as your mum's told you.
Yeah. I say things like that with Atlas now, full well knowing it's no idea what I'm saying.
Yeah.
But I could be doing stuff and I'm like, Mama said no to that, didn't she?
Yeah.
And I'll do stuff like that.
I think that's important, as in a partnership, not to have one that's like she shouldn't have to do this thing where she, say, rings you when you're at work and goes, can you talk to Atlas because he's...
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
That would, I can't lie, under certain things that would annoy me. I'd be like, that's not who I want to be.
But I don't think... I think if you become too much disciplinarian that he won't listen to his mum and she has to ring you, I think that then becomes a problem. And the reason that I do the whole, like, what's your mum said, is that so even if that's not a thing, there's no doubt in his mind that whatever he asks me, I'm going to be like, what's your fucking mother said?
Yeah.
That's what... You know
That's what's important in this right now.
What's happening right now is me and your mum are a team here. This isn't like dad versus mum situation. I'm just going to be like, what's your mum said?
Yeah.
If your mum rings me and goes, he's done this, and this, and I've asked him to do this, guess what I'm asking you to do?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Whether I agree or disagree is...
Yeah.
We'll talk about that later.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
In this moment,
you do.
You need some backup. I'll back you up.
So, I think that's really important that you show as a strong partnership.
A united front. That's how we always end up, me and Gaz.
Yeah.
So.
When we discipline our children.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'll call fucking Ryan.
Yeah. Yeah, no. Yeah, but that I just wanted to mention that on the poddy because I feel like I always talk about how great everything is, and I think sometimes it's good to say, I feel like I messed up a little bit there. And I'm sure all parents listening to this go, I've definitely messed up before.
I think again, I mean, we've spoken about it before, is like taking accountability is a massive thing. You can see you've messed up and improving on it. Yeah. There are far too many parents, maybe not in our generation, I'm so sure there are, but that will just, they'll fuck up and they'll do something like that and they'll just be like, fuck it. Right.
Do you know what, though? I've become really empathetic to children when I think about stuff like that. When I think about me doing that and then my response, and then I think about doing that and then being like, oh, shut up. And I think, kids have to go, that is what would happen to some children.
Yeah.
And it breaks my heart.
Like, for me, it's a life-changing moment. For you, it's just a Tuesday.
Yeah.
It's that kind of whole thing of like, I told you I loved you, and you were like, I don't love you right now. You're irritating me. That forever changed my opinion. For you, it was just an offhand comment.
Yep.
But for me, that was massive. As a child, hearing I don't love you right now.
Yeah.
Makes me think love is conditional. Do you know what I mean? That kind of, can create an issue.
Well, one thing my mum's really good at is Atlas is so choosy some days. He just wants mum and dad some days.
Yeah.
So mum will come round and he could be like, run up to her and be like, hey, Nanny's here. Or he'll look at her and be like, my mum knows he's just a baby. Takes no offence, treats him exactly the same.
Brilliant.
Does not take that for, and just goes, oh. And she'd just be like, well, obviously I'm not flavour of the month today, am I? And that'd be that. But I really appreciate the ability to, when people are able to not take offence from children.
Absolutely.
I think that's, because people do.
Yeah.
I find it so strange.
I mean, I find myself doing it.
Oh, do you?
Massively. Like when Elijah does certain things, I find myself kind of being like, oh, well, if he doesn't want it, then don't.
Yeah.
And then I have to kind of go, he's fine, mate.
I know, but I do feel like
Chill your bones.
at 5, I think they understand emotions a bit more.
Yeah, but like, for example, he's 5. He loves to play with his friends, loves to play with his cousins, loves to play with kids his own age.
Right, I see where
Of
you're going
course,
now,
I'm
right.
the dad. I'm
Yeah.
not like, he loves me to bits, and I know that he loves me to bits. But say, for example, we're all out, and I'm like, oh, Elijah, do you want to walk with me and hold my hand? No, I want to go with his cousin. Do you know what I mean? Or I want to go with his friend. Do you know what I mean? And I'm like, oh, all right then.
Yeah.
Cool. And
Just
then,
because,
in my head,
yeah.
I'm like, oh, well, don't come run into me then when you were... But he's 5. Like,
Yeah,
of course,
yeah.
don't be
Do come
stupid.
running to me, actually, yeah.
I will absolutely accept you, no problem.
But I can remember bits in my childhood where somebody, I don't want to name anyone, but would have been like, oh no, you didn't want to hold my hand earlier. And you're right.
Yeah.
I shouldn't have done that.
No.
I've never really thought about that
Yeah,
before,
and
but
it's just like, you know, I don't know. I've caught myself a couple of times doing that. Kind of be like, oh, now you want to come and hold my hand. And he's like, he doesn't understand that.
no.
No, Joe, what am I doing? Like, stop it.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right, actually. I never really thought of that, but
But yeah, realising you're not arguing with an adult is key there, isn't it?
he's not doing it to be malicious.
I mean, the problem is, obviously, we're, as we will say, like, we're not perfect. Do you know what I mean? So no human's perfect. So we're dealing with very adult emotions with a child that doesn't have these adult emotions and doesn't understand them.
Yeah.
So he's just kind of like, what's wrong with that then?
Yeah.
Like, I don't. What's the issue? And we're like, oh, well, I feel offended. And
Yeah. I think sometimes explaining things to somebody wouldn't hurt if you know, like not being funny, not something like holding hands, but like, you know, if you said, well, how would you feel if I didn't want to hold your hand because I wanted to do that instead? That's how it feels. But then again, is that
then-
like
but then I don't
emotional
wanna make-
blackmail a little bit?
Yeah, and I also don't want to make him feel bad for wanting to play with his friends.
Yeah,
of
yeah, you're
course,
right.
he's 5. Playing with other 5-year-olds is much more fun. Like, and it's always that other thing that I've said to you with when you talk about Becca is the constant. He knows we're going to constantly be
Yeah,
here.
that's-
and,
yeah.
And I want him to know we're always going to constantly be here. He gets me 24 hours a day. Whenever he wants, I'm there. Do you know what I mean? Apart from when I'm at work, obviously.
Obviously, yeah.
But his friends are there rarely. His cousins are there rarely. So when he gets a chance to play with them, make the most of all that time. No problem at all.
Yeah, it's funny that because even sometimes I say things to you which aren't even what I would do, if you know what I mean. Because I'll say to Becca all the time, like, as long as he's enjoying whatever he's doing, I don't really care like who he's doing it with.
Yeah.
Like, if I see him having a good time, I don't think, oh, I wish he was doing that with me. All I think is, I'm glad he's having a good time.
Yeah.
And I think, like,
I mean, the funny thing about you saying that is you're very worried about that with Elijah. And I find that when you do something, I'm like, it's fine, just do it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You'll be like, oh, did you want to do that with him?
Yeah,
No,
I do. Yeah, I
like,
do.
I'm
Yeah,
here.
yeah. Actually, I know what you
Like,
mean.
I'm
I do.
here.
Yeah.
Do your thing.
Yeah, yeah.
If he, like, what I want is, you know, you're a strong male role model in his life. Like,
Yeah.
crack on.
Yeah.
Do you remember that time Uncle Ryan did this with me? Yeah, fucking brilliant, wicked. Do you know what I mean? I've
Yeah.
got no issue with that.
Yeah.
My issue is when I miss things, and I'm like, oh. Do you know what I mean? But if we're doing something and he's just like, yeah, showing you this, blah, blah, blah. Happy days. But yeah, it's quite funny you say that, and then you're like, outwardly, you're kind of like, are you okay if I do this with them?
Yeah. Well, I don't want to step on anyone's toes. Do you know what I mean? Like, just because I feel one way about something doesn't mean every other dad is going to.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Of course.
Because you know, even, I know it's the last thing I can think of really is the cheesy bug incident.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I remember thinking, oh, maybe I should have given you that cheesy bug.
Yeah. No, but it was a perfect time.
Yeah, that's what you were like. You
Yeah,
were
I,
like,
was
yeah.
like, I was like, we literally just spoke about it a minute ago. Then he walked in and you went, oh, look at this. And he went, oh, okay. Do you know what I mean? And I'm like, banging, wicked.
Yeah.
And then you're going, shit, should I have?
Yeah.
That should have been a moment for, and I'm like, no, it's fine. it's a bug. Do you know
Yeah,
what I mean?
yeah. You can, and also, I can have moments. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
With Elijah, you know.
Yeah, imagine if he goes on to be a insect expert and goes, I owe this all to, I'll be like, you son of a bitch. We'll be sitting here still with under 1,000 subscribers.
Yeah.
40 years' time. He's just graduated and got a job in the high field of insect biology.
Yeah.
And he just makes this massive speech. I know this all to my Uncle Ryan.
Yeah. I'll be like, oh, I should have let Gas do that.
Just don't look at me when that happens. I'll be like this.
Yeah. I'll be like, God, I messed up, man. I knew I should never have shown him that cheesy mug.
It was once. I
Yeah.
was trying to be good.
Yeah, God, yeah, no. But lovely. Right, so to just bring this to a close, we've had some delightful emails in. However, we only have time to squeeze in one.
You see, this is what happens when we don't do a pod for a while. We end up just chit-chatting about stuff for the entire podcast, and now we're left with one email time.
One jolly good, fun, light-hearted email.
I also want to apologise if it looks like I've got no trousers on the entire podcast.
I can assure
worry
you
about
it's
it.
not an issue. I can assure you. Do you feel emasculated? So you thought you had to say something?
I'm not letting it pass this time. I won't let it happen.
No. Edit that out.
No.
Right. This one is from our lovely Big Rich. Hi guys, hope you're both keeping well. How's your mum, Ryan? Yeah, no, she is fine. Her arm's
My
completely
first
healed.
question every day.
Yep. Gaz messages me every day. How's your mum doing, Ryan? Yeah, no, but her arm's completely healed up now. She's doing good. Thank you very much. She's just doing physio on it now. So
I just realised your mum watches this, and I've just said some rather crude things about
Nice,
her.
yeah.
I feel bad. Love you.
would you rather want to know how you die or when you die? Essentially, you can't change either. So
Okay.
it's not like you know when you die, so you can change it. It will happen.
I feel like how is pointless to me.
If you can't change it, I think how is pointless.
Yeah. Because how would just panic me.
That's what I mean,
the
yeah.
problem.
Yeah.
Like if I know when, then I'm like, all right, cool, I've got this amount of time left. Like, it is what it is.
Also, you could plan, couldn't you?
Yeah.
Because say, for example, it's like 45. You'd be like, well, I'm going to have to do what I do until I'm 43, and then for 2 years, I'm just going to do whatever the fuck I want. Right.
Yeah, I think when is definitely the opportune, because I can set my affairs in order. Do you know what I mean? I can be like, look, I'm here till this time. I mean, it would suck if it was like you got a week. But
Well,
that's shit.
I haven't got any annual leave.
I haven't got annual leave. Yeah, that would suck. I mean, when? Because how? Imagine if it was like you'll get hit by a car every time I'm near a road. I'm going to shit myself.
That's what I mean. Yeah, that's why that
Do you
one
know
I'm
what I
just going
mean?
to be like, nah, fuck that. So both of us are on when.
When?
Would you rather run into Alien or Predator in a dark alley? Now, by the movies and the comics, I'm going to choose Predator.
Me too.
Because there is a chance you might just leave me alone.
Yeah, because Predator looks for the best, like,
A good kill.
yeah, a good kill. Whereas if I'm a pathetic weakling that cries at plays,
Yeah.
do you know what I mean?
You're unarmed.
Yeah.
Right. But Alien, just sadistic killer. Just going to come at you and kill you.
100. He's just there for death.
It looked like that confused you for a second there.
Yeah, I was like, what?
Alien, I
what?
thought it was a good guy.
I thought you were talking about illegal aliens, and I was like, that's a bit harsh.
Yeah, don't
call them sadistic
hey,
killers.
don't.
You're racist.
Yeah, right, exactly. Yeah. What a stereotype.
I am in agreement with you. I would go Predator. If he doubted my credentials as a pathetic human, I'd ask him to talk to the school mums.
Yeah. I would pretend to be a slug as well. I was just like, as I go on the ground, he'd be like, that is not worth the kill at all. You know, like brown bears, you lie on the front of the fetal position, I'd essentially.
I'll interrupt this email massively. I watched a video of a group of 4 teens
Oh, yeah, see
who
this?
fought a brown bear.
Yeah.
Now, can I just clarify? 2 of the teens did fuck all.
Yeah.
And I'm 90% sure that was just one teen fought a bear. Because one of them got attacked by the bear, and his friend essentially threw himself at the bear to fight the bear off him. Which, by the way, what a fucking friend.
What a mate. If
What
he ever loses that mate, you need to
Yeah.
sort it out.
Literally the best friend.
To bring up a previous conversation we've had, though,
Yeah.
I know we're tangenting everywhere here. Do you remember when you said about you'd ring everyone and ask to borrow money and stuff like that?
Yeah.
This is when I say to you, like, I'd rather have the friend that would wrestle the bear.
100%.
He might not ever lend me money,
Yeah.
but he'll fight a bear for me.
Yeah, but I mean, I'm not going to be in a situation where I'm like, there's a bear attacking me.
But that's what you could ring. You could be like, there's some blokes at my door, I need to have a scrap with them.
Yeah,
Can you
I
come
suppose,
down?
Yeah, I could do that.
Or can you
I
give me
have
a
a
grand to pay him off?
I'm not going to lie. There'll be a lot more friends I've got that would come down.
Yeah, I know,
Do you know what I mean?
yeah.
Like,
That's my point, though.
I also make myself masculine there. I've got friends that fight.
Yeah, because I can't. Because I cry.
I'll do it myself. I would never call anyone. No. Yeah, I watched the video on that, and they're all being interviewed, and the guy was like, yeah, I was standing there. And one of them obviously only got attacked because the bear jumped him straight away.
Yeah.
Then obviously his mate jumped in on the bear to get him off his mate.
Yeah.
Best friend in the fucking world. 100%. The bear then smashed him up against a tree, and no one helped him until the bear got fed up and left.
Yeah.
And the other 2 friends are just absolutely not injured. Just sitting there like...
I will say, I wouldn't blame a friend. If they didn't jump in...
Yeah, I suppose. I think the only time I would blame a friend would be if I was the guy that jumped in and then no one jumped in for me. Like if you were getting attacked by a bear and I wrestled that bear off you and then you went, oh, Jesus, thank God he's off me and left, I'd be like, the fuck are you?
Yeah, do you know what? Like, I guess it's like person to person because I always put myself in the position of my brothers, not really my friends.
Yeah.
And I think if my brother was something happened to him and I put the aggro onto myself, I would be like, don't you dare
Yeah,
put that aggro back onto yourself.
Yeah.
Like, I would be annoyed if he then put himself back in harm's way. So,
I suppose.
but when there's like 4 of you,
Yeah.
I'd be like, we can take it.
Yeah,
we can do it.
him.
Yeah.
Anyway, what was Richard's question?
I don't know. We're both fighting Predator.
Oh, yeah. Predator and acting pathetic is where we're going with that.
Right. Next one's pretty good. Would you rather clog the toilet on your first date at their house or clog the toilet at your new job? The first date toilet is obviously you, as there is only you and her there.
Fair.
Hang on a minute. Your first date at their house? What kind of fucking first date is this?
Rich, you stud.
You sly dog. Is that how you have your first dates? So where'd you want to go your first date? Your place or mine? Richard, you scandalous. Right. The job toilet actually overflows, and as you walk out the door, a colleague is walking in. So it's clearly you. All the best, Big Rich.
I'm going to go at the job and blame someone else.
Now, I like what you've done here, but they've gone with clearly it's you. The other thing, right, I will say before you, because I know you've got a retort here, I'll probably go for the first date. It's first date, fuck it. I've closed your toilet, see you later.
What if it's going really well?
Then she'll be like, don't worry about it.
Or you could gaslight her into thinking it's her.
Yeah. I'll be like, I just took a poo on your poo. Your poo clogged it.
What I would do is go to the toilet and I'd be like, obviously I've been in there a while. And I'd be like, look, I've just been trying to unclog your toilet. I don't know what you've done in there, but I really need a piss.
I still need to go terribly.
I'd be like, I really need a piss, but I don't want. I just tried to flush what you did down there, and she'd be like, oh, I haven't. I'd be like, no, someone has. Like,
Yeah.
I still need to go. So I haven't been yet.
It cannot be me.
What's the toilet paper hanging out the back of your?
I'll save it for later.
But yeah, I mean, I would be gaslighting someone. 100%.
Right. I've got to be honest with you. I think I could take the hit on that. One, if it's the work one, because I've got to go there every single day, and everyone knows that I am the toilet clogger. However, I'm not really that bothered.
No,
But,
I don't think it's that as big a deal at work as it is for the first date.
But like I said, the first date, if it's going really well, I'll have to just be like, look, I can't lie to you. I've got a bit of a nervous tummy because I really like you. And I'll plug the toilet.
Little charmer. You've done that. You've done that.
You were forgiving me.
That would work on me. I'd be like, oh, you have.
Yeah. And I said, look,
I've not listened to anything since you said nervous tummy because I like you.
So I'll be like, look, I'll obviously unclog the whole situation, but I'm just letting you know.
As soon as you finish that sentence, I've already got marigolds on and a plunger. I'm like, I've got this, babe. You lie down.
Yeah, relax.
Lie and relax. Watch
I've
a
got
movie.
some Imodium.
Yeah. Don't you worry. I've got this covered.
If it's going badly,
all
I'll
that's
be
coming
like,
from that date is, he told me he really likes me.
yeah,
It's done.
he got a bit nervous.
Yeah, he got nervous. He's such a cutie.
So if it's going badly, I'll be
Changed my
like,
answer.
I wouldn't even say. I would just walk out.
I've changed my answer to yours. No matter what happens.
You're stealing my line.
100%. Even if it's going badly, that could save the date. Done. I really like you, so I've got a bit nervous. Give me a bit of nervous belly.
Yeah.
We're really overestimating women, I think.
Not we're.
Just me.
Yeah,
I'm like,
you
all
melted.
all women are sensitive.
Yeah.
Me?
Yeah. You're
This
the crier.
this
You're the
masculine
sensitive man. Yeah. You're like, oh my god, that's what you'd say. That's so nice.
Such a beautiful man. I like you too.
Yeah. So
Yeah, apparently I'd melt. So
yeah. There's a reason we're besties here, guys.
I found my line.
Yeah.
That's what's happening.
That's all I ever say to him. Whenever I'm late or anything, I'm sorry, I was just nervous and I just turned up late. And he's like, oh, you don't worry about it.
That's why I'm so red. It's not sunburnt.
Yeah. Love.
Love
but
makes me red.
I think, are we both agreed on first date then?
Yeah, first date.
I don't think I'd be fussed either way, but I do think the fact that it's my first day at my new job and I've got to keep going back there.
Was it first day at a new job?
Yeah.
Oh, so that makes it slightly different.
New job, innit? So
You don't know everyone. That's
what I mean, yeah.
Like,
and a
if you-
colleague's
if you-
walked in,
yeah.
and I know that he's the snake as well. Because he's like, who
of a
clogged the
bitch.
toilet? And I'll be looking at him, I'll be like, if they know it's me, I know it's you.
Yeah,
and you're the snake.
Oh, yeah, you know then. You know who you can take revenge on.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And now I've got to start threatening colleagues. I don't want to do that. Do you know what I mean? Straight away, I've just got there.
You got two. You can either be the clogger or you can be the one that people stay away from.
Yeah, I'd be like, you and me, we've just walked in here at the same time and seen that toilet clogged.
Understood.
Yeah. And if they're like, I'd be like, look, you've either got a bro here or an enemy. Choice is yours. I want to start doing that. I've already got the nervous belly line set up, all right?
Why don't you use the nervous belly line on him? I knew you were coming. I had a nervous belly.
It's my first day on the job.
And I knew you were here.
Yeah.
I had a nervous belly.
Okay. Don't tell anyone. I'm not getting away with that in the same way at all. That's not happening. So, first date. I can picture it the other way around. I've walked in on a colleague. But me, as a colleague, I would just be like, I won't tell anyone.
Yeah.
But then I'll tell everyone. And tell them not to tell anyone. Yeah. I'd be like, I've caught you on CCTV, haven't they? I say they've done it. And he'd be like, But yeah, I haven't said a word.
I would never.
Not a word.
Nervous belly.
I am the snake in the grass. No, honestly, I wouldn't say a word.
No, I don't. If I was that person, I wouldn't care. But
yeah,
I could see why people would be nervous about it.
Yeah, I mean,
especially as a first date.
Yeah, I was going to say, like, what? A toilet overflowing with your shit is not great.
Would you rather? Speaking of overflowing with shit,
I'm going to say, here we go.
Would you rather that in work that happen, same scenario, or that you went for a massive poo and everybody heard it as you were going? That walls were thin. You went. Everyone watched you walk in the toilet. No, they didn't watch you walk in. In fact, they just know. They start hearing big noises from that toilet, and you know everyone's going, "The fuck is in there?" Just looking, and then you walk out, all eyes on you. You know what's just happened.
I mean, I'm picturing an office situation here, aren't I? So I think, honestly, I'd rather go with the overflowing thing. And I'd be like, I'm really sorry, I put too much toilet paper down there.
No one's believing that.
Yeah, but I mean,
that's such a lie.
Rather than hearing my heroic poo.
No, I'm just going to make poo noise.
No, I was going to... People know what they sound like. No.
Just in case you're wondering.
Yeah, what that might sound like. Insert noises here. Yeah, no. So I think that would embarrass me more.
Yeah, 100%. Because the thing is, I think you'd imagine that a toilet would be kind of soundproofed, but then you'd walk out and see everyone's out and you'd be like, oh, fuck.
They heard me grunting.
Yeah, they've heard all of that. That's...
I'll tell you what, actually, painful wheeze, right, when I had my stint in.
I'd judge you.
Yeah, right? I hated the noises. I couldn't stand and weed. I sat and weed every time. It was crap. And then one day I went to the park and they only had a urinal. The things was out of order. And I was like, I'll just stand and wee. Bro, worst decision ever.
Really?
Yeah, this was like the first week or first 3 days I had the surgery as well. And I was almost like, oh my God, just give it in the urinal. Give it in the urinal. And like I imagine people are just hearing me go, if I'm having a wee. And I was like,
I would judge you 100%.
Yeah, massively. What the fuck is wrong with that guy?
He's like,
yeah.
He's like, that's weird.
I would be like, I've got hemorrhoids.
Well, guys, on that note, now that the poo talk is over, thank you very much for your email, Rich.
What a fantastic way to end this.
Yeah, it's been a lovely time. Good to see you again.
Yes, you too.
We've never seen each other outside of this. So it's lovely to see you.
Yeah, you too.
And obviously, guys, it's lovely to see you. And if you've enjoyed all of this, what should they do, Ryan?
Subscribe.
Excellent. They should.
And comment.
Do all of the above. And make sure that you know where the grass is greener.
See you next week.
Bye. It's because we're so damn hot.
That just means we give off a lot of heat.
I'm just overweight.
No need.